You've probably heard of Bilqis, the legendary queen of Sheba. Or have you heard the old folklore that claims she was part jinn? Today, we're diving into these fascinating, strange, and sometimes spooky stories that grew up around her. Just a quick heads up. These are tales from later storytellers, not from the Quran. Mainstream Islamic belief does not hold that she was part jinn. With that said, let's explore the myth. In Arabic tradition, she's known as Bilqis or Balkis, the ruler of Saba, an ancient, wealthy kingdom in what is now Yemen. Her land thrived on caravan trade, especially incense. Storytellers always paint her as wise, strategic, and a rare example of a powerful woman ruling on her own. But some legends wanted to explain why she was so exceptional, and that's where the jinn come in. One popular story says Bilqis's father was a proud Yemeni king who believed no human woman was worthy of him. Frustrated, his people supposedly tricked him into marrying a jinn woman, sometimes named Rayhana bint al-Sakan. From this union of a human king and a jinn mother, a daughter was born, who would later become known as Bilqis, the Queen of Sheba. In this version of the folklore, she is quite literally half jinn, and some storytellers really ran with this idea, describing Bilqis with monstrous, non-human features. Imagine this. Some reports gave her 10 or even 20 fingers on each hand, with sharp claws instead of nails. These details were clearly designed to make her seem otherworldly and far from a normal human queen. Softer versions of the legend kept her beautiful, but gave her uncanny wisdom, extra perception, and a presence that just felt not entirely human. Her jinn blood became a narrative device to explain why she stood out so dramatically. Now, let's talk about one of the most famous folkloric details: her legs. Many old stories insist that Bilqis had very hairy legs, and some go even further, claiming she had animal-like hooves instead of feet. This is where the famous glass floor scene in her story gets a dramatic twist in folklore. As the tale goes, when Bilqis visits the palace of Prophet Suleiman, he has a floor constructed of polished crystal or glass, so clear it looks like a deep pool of water. Thinking she's about to step into water, Bilqis lifts her dress slightly to avoid getting it wet. In these legends, this is the moment of truth. Suleiman sees her hairy legs or hooves, confirming her strange nature. Some versions say he then orders a special cream to be made to remove the hair. Others treat the detail as purely symbolic, a sign that she isn't fully human, another hint at that supposed jinn ancestry. It's a fantastic scene, but it's pure folklore, added by storytellers centuries after the original account. It's nowhere in the Quran. The jinn connection doesn't stop there. A lot of this folklore links Bilqis's background to her magnificent palace and throne. Some tales suggest that jinn must have helped build its wonders, because its crystal halls were considered beyond normal human skill. Others focus on her throne, saying it was guarded by jinn or surrounded by unseen forces. This follows a very old pattern in storytelling. When ancient people saw incredible structures they couldn't explain, they often said, humans alone couldn't have built this. Jinn must have helped. Since Bilqis was imagined as half jinn in these tales, it made sense to connect her bloodline With the supernatural greatness of her city, what's fascinating is that even in these wild legends, Bilqis is almost never portrayed as evil. She is clever, decisive, and knows how to rule. Her jinn side is used to explain her sharp mind, her powerful intuition, and her ability to outthink her rivals. She's shown as a queen that men couldn't easily control or predict. In the storyteller's imagination, she was simply more than human. In this folkloric lens, the role of Prophet Suleiman also shifts a little. In the Quran, he's a wise prophet and king. In the folklore, he becomes the one who tests Bilqis. The magically transported throne and the glass floor are presented as clever traps designed to expose her jinn nature. His role becomes that of a mirror, revealing her mysterious origins. He highlights the contrast between her world of sun-worshipping past with whispers of jinn, and his world of prophecy and monotheism. But even then, the spotlight in these stories remains firmly on Bilqis, her strange origins, her eerie features, and her eventual transformation. So, let's bring it back to mainstream Islamic belief for a moment, because this is really important. The Quran does not say Bilqis was half jinn. It doesn't mention hairy legs, hooves, or monstrous fingers. It presents her as an intelligent and cautious human queen who was able to recognize the truth of God when she encounters it. Many classical Islamic scholars, like Ibn Kathir, explicitly treated these jinn stories as weak reports or pure folklore, interesting, but not something to base one's faith on. So all these jinn tales are part of a rich storytelling tradition. They show us how people across different centuries imagined this powerful queen, trying to explain her unique strength and wisdom through the lens of the supernatural. They are stories for the imagination, not articles of faith. They reveal a fascination with the powerful, the mysterious, and the otherworldly, all wrapped up in the figure of one of history's most iconic queens. Thanks for watching. If you found these ancient legends as fascinating as I do, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more dives into history and folklore.